What does the concept of a reserve currency even mean? What is the how does it benefit the United States? Will it change? Let's discuss all those aspects. So number one, reserve currency just means that countries that have savings, what are they going to keep their money in? They're going to keep their money currently. It's going to be T-bills and T-bonds. Now, there is a concept called de-dollarization happening now, where you see a lot of countries that are moving into gold that are keeping their reserves in gold instead of U.S. dollars because of uncertainty. Now, what benefit is that? So, if there's a massive demand for treasuries, which is in essence can be converted to dollars, what means is that the government can rack up a ton of debt, and then it's going to still benefit. So now, what happens if current countries no longer keep treasuries in reserve? Then all of a sudden the debt is going to come due, and you can't borrow any more debt, and that would create, frankly, a calamity, right? So it's very important that the dollar stays the reserve company for the United States' sake. Now, what is a possible tailwind? So actually, this whole conflict or war going on could actually essentially be a tailwind, because if the oil is not coming out of the Middle East, then there's very, very few oil producers left in the world outside of the Middle East. Most of it would come through the Middle East, and it would kind of keep the price low. So if the price high, then you have oil producing countries like, the U.S., Canada, Venezuela, Russia, that would make a lot of money on the price of oil being valuable. But so now that could cause the reserve currency to actually stick around for longer if people are forced to purchase oil from the United States. So either way, it's a very important aspect, and it's an interesting thing to monitor to see if that continues. Will countries be essentially forced to keep buying dollars against their will, or will they or would de-dollarization continue and gold will continue? And is there a way to reduce reduce the national debt, because frankly, it becomes unsustainable, especially if interest rates will have to come up because of inflation caused by oil, which will cause the debt to spiral out of control. So it's an interesting thing to happen, but it's super important because it allows, if you're the world's reserve currency, it allows you to basically borrow essentially an unlimited amount of money. That's really the reality if you're the reserve currency, to the point where you would see many people say that the debt doesn't even matter. Now, the debt doesn't matter if you're the reserve currency. If you're not the reserve currency, the debt really matters, because then you become like the Weimar Republic or Zimbabwe. So if you got value from this information, please like and subscribe, and enjoy the rest of your day.